Hello everyone, welcome to GS Pulse. In today's video, we'll cover these important current affairs in an exam-oriented way using MCQ and statement-based questions. Let's begin with the first event. Indian Railways deployed a humanoid robot named ASC Arjun at Vishakhapatnam railway station to enhance passenger safety and security. The deployment marks the use of advanced technology for crowd monitoring and surveillance at a major railway station. Consider the following question. Where was the humanoid robot ASC Arjun deployed by Indian Railways? Option A. Vijayawada Railway Station. Option B. Vishakhapatnam Railway Station. Option C. Bhubaneswar Railway Station. Option D. Sikandarabad Railway Station. The correct answer is option B, Vishakhapatnam Railway Station. Indian Railways deployed the humanoid robot ASC Arjun at Vishakhapatnam Railway Station. The deployment aims to improve passenger safety and security at the station. Now, consider the following statements regarding railway security robot. Statement 1. ASC Arjun works alongside Railway Protection Force personnel during peak passenger movement. Statement 2. Vishakhapatnam Railway Station is one of the busiest stations in Andhra Pradesh under the East Coast Railway Zone. Which of the above statements are correct? The correct answer is both Statement 1 and Statement 2 only. Statement 1 is correct because it works alongside Railway Protection Force personnel during peak passenger movement. Statement 2 is correct as Vishakhapatnam Railway Station is described as a major station under the East Coast Railway Zone and one of the busiest in Andhra Pradesh. Let's move to the next event. Indian cricketer Abhishek Sharma registered the second fastest half-century by an Indian in T20 international cricket, reaching the milestone in just 14 balls. The feat highlights an exceptional batting performance in the shortest international format. Consider the following question. Who smashed the second fastest half-century by an Indian in T20 internationals? Option A. Hardik Pandya. Option B. Yuvraj Singh. Option C. Abhishek Sharma. Option D. Rohit Sharma. The correct answer is option C, Abhishek Sharma. Abhishek Sharma smashed the second fastest half-century by an Indian in T20 internationals. He reached the 50 in just 14 balls. Now, consider the following statements regarding rapid T20 50. Statement 1. Abhishek Sharma achieved the second fastest 50 by an Indian during the third T20 international against New Zealand. Statement 2. Abhishek Sharma is an Indian opening batter known for his aggressive batting style in T20 cricket. Correct answer. Both Statement 1 and Statement 2. Statement 1 is correct as the milestone was achieved during the third T20 against New Zealand. Statement 2 is also correct because Abhishek Sharma is described as an aggressive Indian opening batter in T20 cricket. Let's move to the next event. Veteran cricket administrator Inderjeet Singh Bindra, a former president of the Board of Control for Cricket in India, passed away at the age of 84 in New Delhi. He was widely associated with cricket administration in India. Consider the following question. Who among the following former cricket administrators passed away in New Delhi at the age of 84, as reported in the news? Option A. Jagmohan Dalmia. Option B. Sharad Pawar. Option C. Anurag Thakur. Option D. Inderjeet Singh Bindra. The correct answer is option D. Inderjeet Singh Bindra. Inderjeet Singh Bindra, a former BCCI president, passed away at the age of 84 in New Delhi. Now, consider the following statements regarding cricket administrator demise. Statement 1. Inderjeet Singh Bindra served as the president of the BCCI after the year 2000. Statement 2. Cricket commercialization refers only to ticket sales and stadium revenues. Which of the above statements are correct? The correct answer is neither statement 1 nor statement 2. Statement 1 is incorrect because Bindra served as BCCI president from 1993 to 1996. Statement 2 is incorrect as cricket commercialization includes broadcasting rights, sponsorships, and advertising, not just ticket sales. Let's move to the next event. Novak Djokovic became the first player in tennis history to record 400 career Grand Slam singles wins during the Australian Open. The milestone further strengthened his dominance in men's singles at the Melbourne tournament. Consider the following question. Novak Djokovic created history by becoming the first player to achieve which of the following feats at the Australian Open? Option A. Recording 400 career Grand Slam singles wins. Option B. Winning 25 Grand Slam singles titles. Option C. Completing a calendar year Grand Slam. Option D. Securing 400 match wins at the Australian Open. The correct answer is option A. Recording 400 career Grand Slam singles wins. Novak Djokovic became the first player in history to register 400 career Grand Slam singles victories. This historic milestone was achieved at the Australian Open. Now, consider the following statements regarding Djokovic Grand Slam feat. Statement 1. Novak Djokovic surpassed Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal in total Grand Slam singles match victories. Statement 2. The Australian Open is the only Grand Slam tournament played on clay courts. Which of the above statements are correct? The correct answer is Statement 1 only. Statement 1 is correct as Djokovic crossed 400 Grand Slam wins, surpassing Federer and Nadal. Statement 2 is incorrect because the Australian Open is not played on hard courts and clay courts. Let's move to the next event. President Draupadi Murmu inaugurated the Granth Kutir at Rashtrapati Bhavan to preserve and promote Indian classical languages. The initiative strengthens access to manuscripts and books representing India's rich linguistic heritage. Consider the following question. Who inaugurated the Granth Kutir at Rashtrapati Bhavan to promote Indian classical languages? Option A. Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Option B. President Draupadi Murmu. Option C. Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar. Option D. Union Culture Minister. The correct answer is option B. President Draupadi Murmu. The Granth Kutir was inaugurated by President Draupadi Murmu at Rashtrapati Bhavan. The initiative focuses on preserving and promoting Indian classical languages. Now, consider the following statements regarding Granth Kutir inaugurated. Statement 1. Granth Kutir houses manuscripts and books available in multiple Indian classical languages. Statement 2. The Gyan Bharatam mission aims to preserve, digitize, and disseminate India's manuscript heritage. Which of the above statements are correct? The correct answer is Statement 2 only. Statement 1 is incorrect because it does not specify availability across classical languages in that manner. Statement 2 is correct as the Gyan Bharatam mission focuses on preservation, digitization, and dissemination of manuscript heritage. Let's move to the next event. The Indian Army signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru, to develop a fully indigenous artificial intelligence-based system. The collaboration focuses on strengthening defense capabilities through domestically developed AI solutions. Consider the following question. Which organization signed an MOU with the Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru, to develop an indigenous AI-based system? Option A. Indian Army. Option B. Defense Research and Development Organization. Option C. Ministry of Electronics and IT. Option D. Indian Air Force. The correct answer is option A. Indian Army. The Indian Army entered into an MOU with IISc, Bengaluru. The purpose of this MOU is to develop a fully indigenous AI-based system. Now, consider the following statements regarding Army IISC AI MOU. Statement 1. The MOU signed between the Indian Army and IISC aims to develop a fully indigenous AI-based system for defense applications. Statement 2. The Indian Institute of Science is located in Mumbai and mainly focuses on social science research. Which of the above statements are correct? The correct answer is Statement 1 only. Statement 1 is correct as the development of an indigenous AI-based defense system. Statement 2 is incorrect because IISc is located in Bengaluru and is known for advanced scientific and technological research, not social sciences. Let's move to the next event. Former World Health Organization staff member Dr. Chandrakant Laharia won the Wiley Research Heroes Prize. The recognition highlights his contribution to research through an internationally recognized award. Consider the following question. Who won the Wiley Research Heroes Prize as reported in the news? Option A. Dr. Soumya Swaminathan. Option B. Dr. Chandrakant Laharia. Option C. Dr. Harshvardhan. Option D. Dr. Randeep Guleria. The correct answer is option B. Dr. Chandrakant Laharia. The Dr. Chandrakant Laharia received the Wiley Research Heroes Prize. He is a former staff member of the World Health Organization. Now, consider the following statements regarding Wiley Research Honor. Statement 1. Dr. Chandrakant Laharia received the Wiley Research Heroes Prize for contributions in space and nuclear research. Statement 2. The World Health Organization is a specialized agency of the United Nations responsible for international public health. Which of the above statements are correct? The correct answer is Statement 2 only. Statement 1 is incorrect because the prize recognizes inclusive and impactful research, not space or nuclear research. Statement 2 is correct as WHO is a UN specialized agency for global public health. Let's move to the next event. Global fintech company PayU launched the Startup Republic campaign to mark Republic Day and celebrate 10 years of Startup India. The initiative highlights India's startup ecosystem through a nationwide campaign. Consider the following question. Which company launched the Startup Republic campaign is mentioned in the news? Option A. PhonePe. Option B. Razorpay. Option C. PayU. Option D. BharatPe. The correct answer is option C. PayU. The PayU launched the Startup Republic campaign. The campaign was introduced to mark Republic Day and celebrate a decade of Startup India. Now, consider the following statements regarding Startup Republic campaign. Statement 1. The Startup Republic initiative marks 10 years of Startup India and covers all states and union territories of India. Statement 2. The Startup Republic campaign includes documentaries featuring startup founders from different Indian states or union territories. Which of the above statements are correct? The correct answer is both Statement 1 and Statement 2. Statement 1 is correct as the nationwide coverage and 10-year milestone of Startup India. Statement 2 is also correct because the campaign includes documentaries featuring founders from across states and union territories. Let's move to the next event. The Uttarakhand governor promulgated the Uniform Civil Code Amendment Ordinance under Article 213 of the Constitution of India. The ordinance relates to amendments connected with the implementation of the Uniform Civil Code in the state. Consider the following question. Under which constitutional provision was the Uniform Civil Code Amendment Ordinance promulgated in Uttarakhand? Option A. Article 123 of the Constitution. Option B. Article 200 of the Constitution. Option C. Article 356 of the Constitution. Option D. Article 213 of the Constitution. The correct answer is option D. Article 213 of the Constitution. The Uttarakhand governor promulgated the ordinance under Article 213. This article deals with the ordinance-making power of the governor. Now, consider the following statements regarding UCC Amendment Ordinance. Statement 1. The ordinance introduced substantive changes to the personal laws of different communities in Uttarakhand. Statement 2. Article 213 empowers the Parliament of India to issue ordinances when Parliament is not in session. Which of the above statements are correct? The correct answer is neither Statement 1 nor Statement 2. Statement 1 is incorrect because the ordinance introduces procedural, administrative, and penal amendments, not substantive changes. Statement 2 is incorrect as Article 213 grants ordinance-making power to the governor, not Parliament. Let's move to the next event. Veteran Tamil scholar Professor Gnanasundaram passed away in Chennai at the age of 84. He was widely known for his contributions to Tamil language and literary research. Consider the following question. Who among the following passed away in Chennai is reported in the news? Option A. Professor Gnanasundaram. Option B. Professor Irivatam Mahadevan. Option C. Professor Mu Varadarajan. Option D. Professor K. V. A. Jagannathan. The correct answer is option A. Professor Gnanasundaram. The veteran Tamil scholar Professor Gnanasundaram passed away. He died in Chennai at the age of 84. Now, consider the following statements regarding Tamil scholar demise. Statement 1. Professor Gnanasundaram served as Vice President of the Central Institute of Classical Tamil Studies and authored more than 20 books on Tamil language and literature. Statement 2. Vaishnava literature mainly consists of Buddhist philosophical texts composed in classical Sanskrit. Which of the above statements are correct? The correct answer is Statement 1 only. Statement 1 is correct as his academic roles and literary contributions. Statement 2 is incorrect because the Vaishnava literature is Tamil devotional literature associated with Vaishnavism, not Buddhist Sanskrit texts. That brings us to the end of today's important current affairs. If you found this video helpful, do like the video and subscribe to GS Pulse for daily exam-focused current affairs. Take care of your health. Stay consistent with your preparation, and let's connect again in the next video.